there, and welcome back. Welcome back. Grab a seat. Are you gonna be in this? He has watched all the shows with me, so whatever. Today, I'm going to be sharing everything I've watched on Netflix during quarantine. In this video, I'll be counting down to my top rated TV show because honestly, I feel like that's all anyone talks about nowadays. Every time I'm on the phone with someone, I'm like, what did you watch on Netflix today?
What did you watch?
What did you watch?
What's a new show? So maybe this video will give you an idea of something new to watch because I have a lot of good suggestions that I'm about to share. If you are not subscribed to my channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button down below. It really helps me out. I would really appreciate it if you subscribe. So let's get started. Coming in at number 8 is The Killer Inside, The Mind of Aaron Hernandez. This is a docu-series of an former NFL player who murdered a man. And honestly, it was very interesting. Even though I know absolutely nothing about sports, I do live in New England, which is the team Aaron played on. And I was just fascinated that this happened in my state. Like, what? I feel like we all have that like interest in crime series or documentaries or whatever, like just because I think crime things are scary because they're real, and that is definitely what I felt watching this docu-series. It's also not long. I think it's like 3 episodes, so it's just kind of like straight to the point. These are the facts, this is what happened, and you're like, whoa. Number 7 is the one, the only Tiger King. If you don't know what Tiger King is, I don't know where you've been, but welcome back to planet Earth. I feel like the first month of quarantine, this is all anyone talked about. Everyone was obsessed with the Joe Exotic, Carol Baskin, the whole gang. Weirdos. I mean, truly, it was a moment in pop culture. I think we can all agree on that. And that is exactly why I watched it. I watched the entire 7-episode series. I think it's 7. Because quite frankly, I felt like I had to. You had to. I mean, I was on work calls and people on work were like talking about it. Like, you needed to watch it to converse with people. There's a lot of debate about this show. Just, you know, what did the characters do? What didn't they do? But let's just, as we go forward with this whole story, bring the focus back to the tigers. The poor tigers, the poor animals. There were so many animals that just deserve the proper care, and I hope that the reason why the show became so big is because people want to help the tigers. It's quite frankly very sad. I mean, I don't need to go into more detail about what the show's about. I'm guessing you've already heard about it. It's just out of control. Number 6 is called Cheer. It honestly was a really fun docuseries. It's about the Navarro cheer team, and listen, again, I said earlier, I know nothing about sports. I don't care about sports. I don't know anything, but that was more of a reason to watch it for me. At first, when someone recommended this to me, I was like, you want me to watch a thing about cheerleaders? Like, that doesn't really interest me. And then I watched it and I was like, oh my god, this docuseries made me just appreciate the athleticism of these cheerleaders. I mean, the routines, they get hurt a lot, you see in the series. And the characters were awesome too. The coach, Jerry, they were just all so entertaining. It was just, if you're looking for a nice little docuseries, lighthearted, not scary, not wicked funny, just a documentary, this is the one for you. And those girls, how do they keep their ponytails up like that? Send me your secrets, okay? Coming in at number 5 is Stranger Things. Yep, I know. I watched the first season when it came out, but I like had to rewatch it because it is so complicated. So my dad and I sat down and watched the first season. Now I know some of you are thinking, Andrea, number 5, really? It deserves better. And I hear you, I see you, I understand that, but I'm still only on season 1. And honestly, what the heck is going on? What is the upside down? Where is Barb? Will, are you good? Are you good, Will? So if you're looking for a sci-fi mystery show, 100%. 100% would recommend. It's definitely a show that you have to pay full attention to. Like, you have to sit down and just stare at the TV, because if you miss something, it's just not gonna make sense. At least that's how it is for me. There are 3 seasons on Netflix. Each season has about 10 episodes, and each episode is about 45 minutes. So it's not necessarily one you can fly through, but you know, you can. Number 4 is Never Have I Ever. This show had me laughing out loud. Never Have I Ever is about an Indian American girl who's just navigating high school like many people out there, and she's dealing with the struggles, and you just watch her go through it all. Her dad recently passed away and she was paralyzed for a bit. That is not a spoiler, they say that within the first 5 minutes of the show. I found it to be very relatable. I feel like everyone can kind of pick something out of it that they're like, oh, I definitely went through that. I think what I liked about this show so much is that it had very deep and meaningful messages, but did it in a light-hearted, funny way. I actually flew through this series. I watched the whole thing in one day. There's only 1 season up, so you can catch up. You can catch up. And the episodes are only half an hour, so you really breeze through it. I was just rooting for Debbie the entire time. I think that's why I just sat down and watched like the whole thing, because I was just rooting for her. I wanted to know what the next adventure she was going on, and like what trouble she was gonna get herself into and how she was gonna get herself out of it. Very enjoyable. Number 3 is Dead to Me. I actually finished this last night. The 2nd season just came out on Netflix, so I think that's why everyone's talking about it, but I watched the 1st and 2nd season like that. Basically, it's about these 2 women, and one of the women's husband gets hit by a car, and that's what the whole show is about. It's really more complex than that. But I do not want to give anything away. It's just such a wild show. But there's murder and friendship and lies, and it's so good. It's so good. And so funny. Like, I don't know how they did that. Just go watch it. Go watch it. Go watch that one. If you take anything away, go watch that one. Number 2, Schitt's Creek. I know I'm late to the party with this one, but I freaking love Schitt's Creek, y'all. I want to move to that town. I want to eat at that cafe. I want to stay at that motel. I want to go to Schitt's Creek. This show came out years ago and actually ended last month. My dad and I have watched everything that is on Netflix of Schitt's Creek, which means everything except the last season. The last season just aired on TV, and we're waiting for it to be uploaded to Netflix. There is 6 seasons, and the episodes are fairly short. They're about like a half an hour each, maybe like 20 to 30 minutes. Literally laugh out loud, myself and my dad. Such a funny show. There's really nothing like the show. I've never seen anything like this, or done how the show is done. You get so attached to the characters because how ridiculous they are. You're just like, how is someone that stupid? And then you're like, wait, that's why I love them, because they are so ridiculous. And it just gets you so attached to the show. So 10 out of 10 would recommend Schitt's Creek. And my number 1 show I've watched during quarantine is The Outer Banks. Y'all, this show, I loved it. I was obsessed with it. I became so obsessed with it, I watched it again very quickly. I think I've said that for every single show. It's because I get sucked into these shows and I can't stop until I know how it ends. The characters of The Outer Banks and the plot, wow. I was on the edge of my seat. I was biting my nails. I was like, are these kids going to get in trouble or not? Again, I'm not gonna give anything away. There is 1 season that came out really recent. So another one you can catch up on really fast. It has 10 episodes and each episode is about an hour long. I really didn't know a lot about the show before watching it, so I'm not gonna say a lot here because I kind of liked that, like not really knowing what it was about and being like, oh, that's actually what it's about. But all you really need to know is it's about these kids these teenagers that live in the Outer Banks. That's all you're gonna get out of me. That's all. I'm 23 years old and I kind of watched the trailer and was like, this is a little young for me, I think. But it wasn't. It was very like age appropriate for myself, I felt. I feel like adults could watch it and be entertained by it. I feel like teenagers could watch it. I found it very enjoyable. It was very suspenseful and I absolutely loved the show. I cannot wait. I can't even say it. I just cannot wait for the second season, whatever that may be. So those are 8 TV shows that I would recommend you watch on Netflix during this quarantine. I feel like there's a wide variety here. I'll list them here. Wide variety. If you've seen one of these shows or you end up watching one of these shows, comment below. Tell me what it is, why you like it. And also be sure to subscribe because you should. Again, thank you for clicking, thank you for watching, and who knows, there might be a part 2 of this series, and if you're into that, be sure to let me know, because all I do is watch TV. That's all I do. I knit though during it, so like that's kind of productive. Thanks again, and I will see you Saturday for my reaction to Lady Gaga and Ariana Grande. All right, I'll see you later. Bye-bye.